Let's do some trading with Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, joining us from the SIBO. What's up, Scott? Good to see you again. Back, on the trading floor.
It is great to be on the trading floor, and it is a busy morning, let me tell you.
Yeah, it seems like it. Everybody buying stocks back there, Scott, selling VIX?
That seems to be what's going on here. Yeah, this is the S&P 500 options pit right behind me, and it is busy. It is rocking.
We're jamming. We're up 1.25 right now for the NASDAQ. Bonds did just sell off a little bit. We're going to trade some Rivian, but since you're there, tell me what the vibes are. Is it positive? Are we thinking about peak inflation driving this market narrative upward now?
You know, I actually was just talking to a few of the traders before we came on here, and they're all caught by surprise that this rally has sustained, and they're all not all, but the ones I've spoken with are starting to buy into the belief now that this is not just a bear market rally, that this is sustainable now. So it's going to depend really on what the continuing inflation numbers will be next month and, over the next few weeks. But there's a sentiment change. There's definitely a tone change from where we've been over the last several months.
Okay. And that tone change, we're watching it as Bitcoin ramps up 5.5%. You and I were just talking about watching that the other day as potentially the leading indicator of risk sentiment. So we've maybe broken out here from the levels you and I were just talking about 24 hours ago.
No doubt about it. Now, that being said, Oliver, and people love this rally here. To me, volatility is way too cheap. The VIX is too cheap. I think that, anybody that's in this marketplace, you've got to take a long, hard look at buying some very, very cheap protection if you want to stay long in this market right now.
Okay. All right. VIX 20 right now. Haven't been down here since late April. Let's talk some Rivian, Scott.
April, yep.
What do you think?
Yeah.
They got some potential here, or they're going to be too cumbersome on the expenses and break under the competitive pressure?
As Jeff was mentioning, this is definitely a 100% going to be a supply issue, not a demand issue. The demand is there. Can they get the cars built? Can they get the deliveries out there? That's a pretty lofty expectation. I look at this, though, as an opportunity, as a trade, not as an investment, but as a trade. I look at a really, really solid opportunity to the upside, Oliver, that if there is any decent guidance, any decent news, what I'm looking at is the disparity between this week's options, which are so incredibly expensive because the implied volatility is so expensive, versus something next week. So what I'm actually doing is I'm bullish. This is a tempered bullish position. I'm buying next week's 41 call. But to kind of finance that, to reduce my exposure, I'm selling this week's 42.5 call that expires tomorrow, really taking advantage of that massive amount of premium here. There is such a big disparity in implied volatility. That's why I love the potential of this trade. It is definitely a bullish trade. If, the results come out, Rivian goes down, okay, I know what I can lose. This spread's going to cost me somewhere about 65 cents. That is the most I can lose here. But listen, we know that volatility, we know that premium is going to get absolutely annihilated after this report tomorrow. So if there's anything to the bullish side here, this spread's going to be a home run.
Okay. All right. I like it. So taking an approach here that embraces some of the volatility that's pumped up in here. It's a stock where if you're just trying to strictly own, directional volatility, it's going to cost you. So using the spread seems like a way to kind of use some of the volatility in your advantage.
Yeah, and that's why I said this is a very tempered bullish position, right? I'm not just outright buying calls here. I am buying one for next week, but I'm selling something against it this week. So definitely looking to take advantage of a move higher and the massive reduction in premium that we're going to see starting tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Going to be following our earnings here this afternoon. Scott, good to catch up. Looking forward to chatting with you here from the trading floor in Chicago. Good stuff. Scott Bauer, CEO, Prosper Trading Academy.